Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to teach you how to start your online music business in 5 simple steps. If you do these in about 6 months, more or less, you should be able to get the clients you want, customers that buys your product every day, and a strong music business base to build on for the next few years. I don't like to give specific numbers because it depends on a lot, but there is no reason if you do all these and actually follow through that you couldn't make your first $1,000 from your paid music offers. Now, if you're new here and you have no idea who you are and why you should listen to me, my name is Aurélie. I go by PLV Music on social media, and over the last 4 years, I built my own online music business from scratch, which then allowed me to quit my 9-to-5 job, building an audience of more than 70,000 people online, and consistently be making $7,000 a month from my music business online. Along my journey, I found a better way for me to monetize my music skills and music knowledge. For me, it is better than the typical DJ gig or royalties from Spotify route, because it does not fit my lifestyle or it's not me. And now my mission is to show you how to do it for yourself. Just a heads up though, before we dive into it, this video is not going to teach you how to make $1,000 from Spotify royalties. This is not what this video is about. But if you're open to learn about other ways to monetize your music skills and knowledge, then let's get into it. All right, so the first step is going to plan your music business. The idea is that a goal without a plan is only a dream. So you need to think about your music business plan, which is gonna come into 2 parts. How you monetize, pardon my writing, and how much money you need per month to be able to quit your 9-to-5 if that's something you want to do. Now, talking about the first part about how you monetize, there are so many other ways to do so. Just doing DJ gig or royalties from Spotify are not the only way. You can work with top music brands, you can sell, coaching sessions if you like teaching, or a course. You can sell digital products like sample and preset packs or many other things. Honestly, here, there is no limit, only your imagination. So for example, I have a friend called Pesoni, which you probably heard on my channel already. He did something genius. He's very good at coding, he loves all the technical aspect of music production, he loves everything that is plugins related. He saw that on Ableton Live, some plugins like Camel Crusher, for example, were losing their UI, their interface. So basically it was all dark, all black, and people were not able to use that plugin on that DAW. So because he was so technical and loves coding, he decided to code a Max for Live wrapper so that the users recovered the UI of their plugins and can now use them. And he sells those. So this, for example, would go under the category of digital products, but it's not your typical sample and preset packs. So that's just an example to show you that just lean into your strength, and really it's only your imagination that limits you. So once you have a few ideas of how you would like to monetize, what I recommend you is to make a list of 4 to 5 income sources. In the future, maybe it won't be accurate, it won't be how you monetize, but the idea is to start with a destination to just give you a jump start. For example, at some point I tried Patreon, I tried vocal acapellas because they were on my list, but I saw that either it didn't work or I didn't like it, so I stopped and I found something else. So here, really, trial and error will be key. You'll figure out over time what works for you. Right now, we just need something to start with. All right, so now that you have an idea of how you want to monetize, you need to know who are going to be your client, customers, or students. That's the second step. The idea is that if your goal, and that's probably gonna be your goal, is to attract clients, customers, or students, you need to know who they are and what they want so that you know how to talk to them and what to do to attract them. So for example, who would be interested in your music offer? The more you know about them, the better, because the more you'll know how to talk to them, what content to make for them, what they want to see online, and that's the whole point. So I would start by answering a few questions like these. How old they are? Do they have a full-time job, or are they studying? What are their dreams or goals? Also, what are their fears, their problem? For example, if I take my target audience, the fear of my audience would probably be to be stuck forever at a 9 to 5 they're not passionate about and never be able to make a living from their passion. That could be one of their fears. So as I said before, the more you know, the better, because the more you'll be able to know the language. But don't get stuck over it as an excuse to not get started. This is something that will come over time. At the beginning, when I started, I didn't know exactly who my target audience was. I kept developing it over time. Now, to give you a better example, practical example, I noticed how important it was, for example, when I was doing a video that was about how to find time to make music, and I wanted to put in parentheses, even with school. And at the beginning, I noticed that I was attracting a lot of students, but because I also wanted to attract clients and customers, I noticed that students don't particularly have a lot of money to spend on a hobby or things like that. So this is where I was like, this is not my target audience. My target audience are probably, young adults that just started their 9 to 5 or, have a few years there, 24, 34 years old, and that have a full-time job, which allows them to have money. So knowing this about my audience allowed me to change the language of the title from, even with school to even with a full-time job. This way, I was able to attract a better audience for myself. This is just an example. Now, once you know who you're making content for, you need to start to post. So the next step is to start to grow your audience. So the idea here is to post content to attract your avatar. Your avatar is pretty much the step to who is your perfect target audience. That's how I call it. Who or avatar, same thing. So if you go back to what your audience is, you would be able to make a list of what content they want or need to see. Make a list of like 30 to 50 ideas. Because the problem that a lot of aspiring music creators run into is that they can't stay consistent, but they can't stay consistent because they don't have enough ideas of what to post. If you just do more brainstorming sessions and you have more ideas, you'll never run out of things to film and post. So just another little tip here. Now, when it comes to choosing a platform, I recommend to only choose one to start with. It's already hard enough to grow on social media. Don't make your life harder than it needs to be, just choose one. Honestly, at this point, I don't really care about which one you choose. There's pros and cons for everything. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Twitter, LinkedIn if you want, Reddit, I think some people have liked. Honestly, just choose the one that works for you. If you're more attracted with like graphic design and writing, then you can do more LinkedIn, Reddit, Threads, maybe Instagram carousels. But if you prefer videos and you like that, you can do YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. Now, when it comes to short form versus long form, there's pros and cons as well. I would not think of it too much to get started. The idea here is more to start and to get into the habit of posting content. So YouTube, Instagram, probably my favorite for both different reasons, but yeah, post consistently, but not in the way you think. The reason you want to post consistently, and it doesn't have to be 3 times a day or once a day, I never did, and it worked, is that the more you post like over the long term, the more it's going to build expertise and trust with the people that see your content. And that's what we want, because here the point isn't really to go viral. To have a healthy music business, you don't need to have 1 million followers and stuff like this. With 5,000, 10,000, you can have a healthy music business. Now, it also depends on each platform, so I'm gonna show you what I found. So YouTube is definitely once per week, like minimum. IG, it's like 3 times per week minimum. I went very French here. Minimum. TikTok is gonna be a bit more. Once per day, unfortunately, so I wouldn't recommend this. And Threads, it's more 3 times per day, but because it's only writing, it's much easier to do, so it's absolutely doable. Now, the topic of growing an audience online could be its own video, its own course. So I made already lots of videos about it, so I'll put a playlist over here if you want. For now, I'm gonna give you a few tips. Feel free to watch those videos after. For now, the main tips that I would give are these. The best one that I can give you is to let go of perfectionism. This is gonna kill you. If you think the lighting isn't correct or the audio here doesn't sound as good, I don't care, just post it. Last week I posted a video of me practicing piano. Half of the video is crackling piano sound because I ran into a technical issue. I did not post the video because of this. I just went for it. No one complained about it. So it's always more in your head, and it would have just break my consistency. It would have break, the trust with my audience, especially in the beginning. If, people are gonna watch one video from you and then see nothing from you for the next 6 months, the next time you post something, they'll already be watching other videos, so your video will not even be presented to those. So that's why consistency, especially in the beginning, is very important. So let go of perfectionism, just get 1% better every day. And that's the next one. That's how I built my channel and everything. 1% better every day. So what I mean by this is at the beginning, just do a video. The next video, maybe try to learn more about lighting and do a better lighting. The next time, try to learn more about how to mix your voice so that it sounds better on the microphone. The next time, maybe buy a little microphone that is better than whatever one you have on your camera. Maybe next time you add subtitles. Just every video, just do one thing to make it better than the last one. That's the idea. That's how you're gonna build your brand and everything and the quality over time. And the last one, make it easy to make content. So what I mean by that is use templates, repurpose content, repost, old content, find the format that works for you as well. Maybe you can even experiment with uncut, raw content, etc., etc. There's lots of different things. Once again, I could spend hours talking about this. But to give you an example, there's a big cliche that you lose the music when you do content. You can if you're not careful about it. But for example, I was kind of losing it a little bit a few months ago, so I was like, okay, I need to find better formats that allow me to make music while making content so that I just do both at the same time. So what did I do? I came up with this new content idea where all I do is I do my music session for 2-3 hours. I put my camera in the back of me, my phone camera in the front. I just film, 30 minutes of the session, and then I just cut the most interesting parts and then do a full voiceover to talk about a topic that my audience, my target avatar, would be interested about. And that's it. I'll put an example right here as to what I'm talking about, but that's it. So this way, it's not much editing at all. It's just writing the voiceover, which can take, maybe 20 minutes maximum. Recording it takes 4 minutes because it's a short format. And I get to make music at the same time, so it was perfect for me, right? But other examples could be if you're mixing or mastering a song for a client, just go live stream that. Then it's gonna turn into a video, right? Things like that. Anyway, I could talk about this topic for hours, which is what I do in my course Music Creator. So I'm about to launch cohort 2 in about 2 weeks. So if you want to be aware as to when it launches, because there's only gonna be limited spots, there's a link in the description if you want to join the waitlist. If not, let's continue. Once you grow your audience, then you can go to the 4th step, which is gonna be to create your first offer. Paid offer, obviously. So basically, it's time to monetize. And my best advice for you is that the easiest and fastest way to monetize when you're starting is to offer your services. Why? Because it requires almost no setup, no upfront work at all. For example, you could just put a Gmail account, your email account in the bio with a call to action. You can use a Google form. You can use third-party platforms like Calendly to book calls or book sessions, book services, whatever you want. Once again, the idea is just to make it easy for yourself. So from there, obviously, you have whatever people would use to contact you and book you. Now you're gonna need to promote it. If you don't say it to people, people won't know they can book you for whatever service you offer. If it is ghost production, mixing and mastering, guitar recording, drums, whatever, vocals, you need to tell people that you have it. So tell people. And you can do this with CTAs, which is call to actions in your videos or in the descriptions, bios and stuff like this, descriptions of your videos or captions of your posts. You can also have it in your bio, really, just saying it like hire me for this, hire me for that. You can also put like stories or highlights as well on Instagram, links in descriptions on YouTube, with a sentence that also says book this, book that, hire me for this. Just be vocal about it. Don't worry, people are used to it. They won't complain. No one ever complained to me that I promote too much. And it's just awkward at the beginning. But once again, if you don't tell people, they won't know. And it's not because you say it twice that the person is gonna see it twice. Every time you post or do something online, it's only like 20% of your audience that's gonna see it. And every time it's a different 20%. Obviously you have your core audience that are gonna see everything, but at this point, if they love you, they won't mind it. Now you have a first service that hopefully you promoted enough and you got booked for a couple. Now the next step, the last one, the idea is to create a solution to a problem they have as a digital product. So identify a problem your audience have, then create the solution to it as a digital product. For example, like Passoni did. He saw that there was a problem. His audience had, lost the UI of their plugin, so he created the wrapper, the Max for Live wrapper, as the solution and sold this. That's the whole idea. Now, as you build your audience, they're gonna come to you with comments, questions, and all things like that. This is where you can see what their problems are. If you see anything that is repetitive, then that's a big indicator that there is the demand. So basically, this is gonna be your call to create the product for them. So create the product and then launch it. To go about it this way works because the demand comes from your audience itself, and this is the best way to go about it. Because the problem that a lot of us do, and I did it myself at the beginning, is that you're like, oh, I want to build something, I think this would be cool. I think, I want to sell this. But if no one asked for it, you can build it for like 6 months. No one will want to buy it, So you need to make sure that there is the demand. So this is why this framework works the best. Now, very important, the idea is that your digital product like this, it needs to be your low ticket offer. So what I call a low ticket offer is everything that is gonna be like under $150, so that anyone that discovers you can just buy it because it's too good and it's low enough in terms of price that they don't need to think about it for too long. So obviously there will be more to launch it and promoting it and all that stuff, but as long as you talk about it, you insert the links here and there, you do content to promote that and things like that, you should be able to book at least one service and at least sell one digital product, which is the whole idea here. And if you're able to sell one, you can sell 5. You can sell 5, you can sell 10, if you can sell 10, you can sell 100, and you see my point. Now, let's be honest for a second. It's a lot of work. I am not going to tell you it's not, it would be lying. It's going to be hours spent in the studio, hours away from creating music too as well, and sacrifices. You won't be able to go out for the 3 days in the weekend. It's just about deciding what your responsibilities are and what you really truly want. So, time for tough love. First of all, this approach is not for everyone, and that's completely okay. As I said, there are many ways to monetize. You don't have to choose that one. It's just another possibility if time and financial freedom is something that you're after. Second of all, if it is something that relates to you, that you're interested in, but you feel already overwhelmed and already wants to quit after watching this video, well, what did you expect? Yeah, it is a lot of work. Like everything in life. You just have to know what you're ready to do to get the life that you want, or just stay exactly where you are 6 months from now. As I said before, it's all about taking your responsibilities and choosing your priorities. Now, if it does sound like you and you want more guidance, more personal help from me to create your online music business and a community of other like-minded music creators, I'm about to launch the cohort 2 of my online course, Music Creator. where I literally teach you all of this plus more in much more details with assignments, worksheets, templates, live lessons, a lot of Q&As. So if that interests you, you can join the waitlist with the link in the description. But in the meantime, keep learning and I'll see you in the next one.